Kelly Ripa took to Instagram to share an emotional message for her only daughter, Lola Consuelos, whom she shares with her husband and talk show co-host, Mark Consuelos. The TV personality only sees her daughter on rare occasions, as she lives and works in New York City, while Lola is busy building her life in London. The 24-year-old shared a carousel of photos from her day on Instagram, featuring a photo of herself looking just like her mother in a black jacket and blue scarf. The second snap saw Lola in a pair of kitten heels with pink leg warmers, while the fourth showcased her beauty routine as she wore a glossy face mask. #today, she captioned the post alongside a roller skate emoji. "Wish we were together," Kelly commented, adding a string of heart emojis. While Kelly and Mark only see their daughter on rare occasions due to the distance, they made a special trip to London in December to support Lola at the debut performance of her EP, Sorry, It's All About Me. The duo attempted to keep a low profile at the event as they stood backstage and donned flat caps, until Lola spotted them during her performance. "Shut up," she said on stage. "I'm going to start crying. My parents just flew in to surprise me. How did you guys get here?" "An airplane," Kelly quipped. She later spoke to Hello at the event and shared how proud she was of Lola's achievement. "She's been working so hard, and her hard work paid off, and guess what? We pulled off the ultimate surprise," Kelly said. "She didn't know we were here, and we wanted to wait until it was all over to surprise her. We didn't want to make her nervous. I cried because I didn't know they were coming. You saw my reaction," Lola added. "I want to have a glass of wine soon because I have all this adrenaline rushing out, but I am really happy. I'm so blessed that everyone came and supported me. It means a lot." Kelly and Mark regaled their morning show viewers with the story days later, sharing that Lola asked them not to go as she was too nervous and didn't want the extra pressure. "She told us not to go, so we thought we would sneak into London and just kind of be on the side somewhere in the crowd. And the first part of the caper is we went and bought hats. Like Peaky Blinders style," Mark recalled. "At a hat shop, to put ourselves in disguise, we looked like two dudes," Kelly chimed in. "They were like, 'Ma'am, there are ladies' hats.' I was like, 'I need a dude hat.' I wanted to see it. I wanted to see her live, not just watching her on a video screen. And she was wonderful," her husband added. Kelly agreed, declaring she was incredible. So proud of her. So impressed. She was so funny. She was really funny." Lola moved to London after graduating from NYU's Clive Davis Institute of Recorded Music and lives with her boyfriend, Cassius Kidston, in the bustling city. Kelly read the caption twice before she let herself feel the small, odd lurch in her chest. #today, Lola had written a roller skate emoji chirping like a secret. The carousel rolled through, Lola in a black jacket and blue scarf that made her look impossibly like Kelly, a shot of kitten heels paired with pink leg warmers that could only belong to someone fully delighted by contradictions, a glossy face mask caught mid-application, the kind of intimacy you usually didn't get to witness from 3,000 miles away. Kelly's thumbs hovered over the screen, then moved without thinking, a string of heart emojis, soft and immediate. "Wish we were together," she typed, and hit post. It was a small thing. Social media is full of small things. But the small things arrive like rain when you are thirsty for them. Lola lived in London now, an address that for Kelly used to be a word on a map and lately felt like an entire hemisphere, to build a life of record sleeves and midnight studios after NYU's Clive Davis Institute. They saw each other in snapshots in airports, in hurried FaceTime dinners, in the rare, breathless real-time, birthdays, holidays, the kind of orchestrated love that requires suitcases and time zone arithmetic. Still, every small thing from Lola felt oversized, a postcard folded into the shape of a hug. The memory of the surprise in December hummed like an aftersong. Kelly could still hear the scrape of her own heartbeat when they bought the hats, Peaky Blinders style, In a dim shop near the venue, two parents trying on disguises too charming for their years. We looked like two dudes, Mark had said afterward on the morning show. And Kelly had laughed then, because laughing made the nerves sit down for a minute. They had wanted to be inconspicuous, a peripheral kind of love that could watch and not disturb. On stage, Lola had found them the way that the world sometimes finds the truth, by accident and then all at once. Shut up, she'd said, half in disbelief, half delighted, half on the edge of tears. Kelly had wanted to cry then. She almost always did when she did not plan to. But she'd put her hand over her mouth as if to catch her own surprise, and Mark had whispered, "An airplane," so the moment would not be too sentimental. Sentiment, after all, is a dangerous thing when you're trying to be cool backstage in flat caps. Now, alone in the kitchen of their New York apartment with a mug that had cooled and the television murmuring distant traffic, Kelly folded herself into the small ritual of writing a message that felt like more than an emoji. She wanted to speak without sounding like a mother scolding or a talk show host giving advice. She wanted to speak like someone who had watched this child learn to tie a shoelace and then, years later, learned to tie her own courage into songs. She scrolled back through memory. Lola at 3, crowned with a plastic tiara, her knees sticky from too many cookies. Lola at 12, hunched over a notebook penning lyrics in blue gel ink that smelled faintly of the family home. Lola at 18, speechless as she tossed a graduation cap into the air. A lifetime compressed into the curve of a thumb. Her message began with gentleness. "My dearest Lola," she wrote, and then stopped, the formality sitting wrong. She deleted. "Lola," she tried, and smiled into the quiet. Sometimes a name alone is enough to carve a whole conversation. Seeing your photos today made me feel like I was there with you, even though I'm not. I wanted to tell you how proud I am of your music, your bravery, the way you make up your own rules with kitten heels and leg warmers and roller skates. I wanted to tell you I miss you." The cursor pulsed. Writing to a daughter who was both grown and child-sure was like sending a letter in a bottle. It might arrive as a tidal wave or a simple ripple. She kept typing. She told her the story of the hats, the caper that had become a family legend in their living room. "Remember the hat shop clerk," she wrote, "when Mark insisted we needed dude hats, and she looked at us like we were the funniest thing she'd seen that week? I still laugh about those ridiculous flat caps." She admitted that at one point backstage she was afraid that her presence would make Lola stumble, make her lyrics fray into stage fright. "You asked us not to come," Kelly typed, "and honestly, we almost listened. But something in us wanted to see you breathe the air that you've made yours. We wanted to be there when the lights landed on you. We wanted to applaud from the shadows." She remembered Lola's on-stage confession, the raw, unprepared utterance when a person's heart answers first. "An airplane," Kelly had said then, but in the hush afterwards she'd wanted to say more, that they had crossed oceans to witness a revelation, that the days of standing at the edge and watching their girl walk forward were both the hardest and the most exquisite. The message turned tender and then slightly mischievous. "Also," she added, "you owe us a glass of wine." For adrenaline reasons. It was ridiculous, something that made Kelly grin at the screen as if she had trapped a private joke in pixels. She imagined Lola reading it in some London flat, hair still damp from a face mask, her boyfriend Cassius laughing somewhere beside her, their lives overlapping but not always touching. Kelly imagined them rolling their eyes at the sentimental mother and then, inevitably, sending back a heart. It was the exchange she'd been waiting for. She pressed send. The story of the surprise had settled into the family's lore, replayed later on their morning show not as a performance, but as an artifact of their life. Two adults who still felt like children when their child surprised them with her own gravity. On air, Mark and Kelly had tried to make it light. The flat caps, the whisper of caper, the awkward hat clerk. But Kelly remembered the quiet after the laughs, the way their eyes had met in a private language and acknowledged the cost and the delight of distance. She was incredible, Mark had said. So proud. Kelly nodded then, and had wanted to add that pride, in its purest form, is not a comment but an ache.